I'm such an optimist and I never focus on failure ever. Like I just move on. I feel like it's part of the journey and, without failure, that's what builds the resilience over time. And I always say if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So that's the part of entrepreneurship that I love is just the getting kicked down, getting back up again. I thrive on that. Like if you tell me no, like I'm just gonna be like, well, I'll show you. Like that's my attitude. Hire slow, fire fast. I always say that, even though I don't always, to this day, I still don't follow it because it's like, oh, maybe they'll change, maybe they'll work out, maybe they'll turn a corner, and it's just like to this day, it's still so difficult to fire people, but you got to get them out of the company fast, especially if they're hurting your company culture. Just get them out and then hire slow. Take your time. It takes us a long time to hire somebody and onboard them because we want the right fit for our culture. So those would be my biggest tips. And then don't accept ultimatums from your employees because once they start pushing you around, it's just going to get worse. Like if they're like, oh, give me a raise. And then you do, if you give in to every single demand, it's not going to be pretty. I always try to say, am I going to die? Like, am I going to die from this? Like, no, I'm not going to physically die. So it's like, how bad is it really? And then a friend of mine, he says, will this matter in 5 years? That's the other thing you can remind yourself. Like, is this really going to matter in 5 years, this lawsuit? Like, if it goes the worst case possible, is it going to matter in 5 years? Could I recover in 5 years? Yeah, I'm sure I could. I could get a lot done in 5 years. When you fire a client, like, yeah, they're not expecting that at all. But that leaves like a vacuum, like that hole that creates when you get rid of that bad client creates a vacuum, like, and it just pulls in a better client. Like every single time we fill that hole with like a much better client.
Yeah.
So I'm really a big advocate for, and again, it's really rare. I'm so lucky. My companies are just, we don't attract nightmare clients. So it's super rare one would slip through the cracks. But yeah, if you're going to come in and yell and scream, no. Don't try to control everything and don't micromanage. If you ask my very first manager, like way back in the day, they would say I was a micromanager. If you ask any manager I've had in the last 10 years, they say the opposite. They're like, Christine is so hands off. Like she lets us do whatever, because they're adults. Like I think I learned that with age, that I need to trust that person that I put in that role to run my company, that they're going to make the best decisions they can for the company. And I need to trust them. But I think before I was such a control freak that I'm like, oh, they're not going to do it better than me, blah, blah, blah. And that was immaturity. I was 23 when I started my first company. So it was like, I had a lot to learn. Kindred quarters were literally it's a brand new venture. And these are going to be co-living homes, all like internationally, where entrepreneurs can live together, either long-term or short-term. So that we might be able to, we'll get a place in Dubai and some of us can go and we could be in Dubai living with the other entrepreneurs for weeks or months at a time. Yeah, I'm really excited. And so the current house I live in here in San Diego is the original entrepreneur house. And there's 4 of us that have been in there over a year. And we have a chef and we have cleaners. And so we've outsourced every aspect of our life so that we can concentrate on growing our companies. And it's been an amazing experience for me in these last, 14, 15 months. So I just want to take that concept, but I want to branch off, into different cities. I mean, that's the dream. Every entrepreneur dreams. My closest friends, I go travel with them and they're like, but that's the part that everybody wants is when it runs itself and they don't need you anymore. But it still hurts a little because it's like, whoa, that was like my life for the last 5 years.
Right.
Just push on, just make sure you're still focused on the growth of your company and not sitting in this victim mentality.
Correct.
Or this like scarcity or, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Because your energy is going to be shifted towards worrying about something that is literally completely out of your control.